Any public input, Brian? Okay. Rita, come on up. Hi.
Good evening. Last week, the Garden Club had their monthly meeting, and their president, Pat Anderson, read the letter that you had sent to the Garden Club, thanking them for all the efforts that they put into all the work around the various areas and the signs coming in. And I was asked to thank you for acknowledging that formally.
Well, that's it. Well, I got to say this, and I think all of the town board agrees, especially on a hot summer like this. Everybody's watched all the work that the Garden Club has done, and I see them out on the hot days taking care of all the flowers in the entrance to the town and everywhere, and I was just impressed with all the work that you guys do. And again, thank you so much.
It's their pleasure, and they take a lot of pride in it.
You can tell. It shows.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you, Rita. Anyone else?
The 2019 tentative budget was filed in the town clerk's office today, and copies of the 2019 tentative budget were placed in each of the town board members' mailboxes on October 1st, 2018, and is now being formally presented to the town board.
Excuse me. Thank you, Kathy. I just have a little paragraph here that I'd like to read. The 2019 tentative budget includes a tax levy increase of $18.53 from $486.45 in 2018 to $504.98 in 2019 for a typical homeowner of the town of Wheatfield, an increase of 3.81%. It should be noted that this is the first since 2010, 9 years ago, and there is a tax levy increase for a typical homeowner. The tax levy 2019 is due primarily to a substantial increase in our garbage recycling costs, which is increasing from $242,200 from $905,000 in 2018 budget. So you can see there's been a substantial increase in garbage pickup. And again, it will affect the average or typical household $18.53 a year. And again, we really had no option because of the increase. And it's not just the town of Wheatfield. This has happened in all the municipalities in Niagara County, and I'm sure Erie County too, because of just the overall cost. The tax levy for 2019 is increasing $141,565 or 3.94%, which is still less than the town of Wheatfield's cap at 4.23 for 2019. Ed, I don't know if you would like to add anything to that, or? Okay. Any questions, folks?
What's the reason for the big jump in?
Well, again, I wouldn't say it's a big jump, but it is a jump, and we had Modern Disposal was our trash pickup for many years, and every year they would extend the contract, and extend the contract. I believe it was 5 or 6 years, wasn't it, Ed? 5 years. So the price never went up. So that happened in many of the municipalities. We thought we had Modern prepared to extend the contract for another year, and at the last minute they said no, and this was based on their advice from their corporate attorneys that to extend it for another year could have been a problem for them because there's other people that wanted to bid also, which they did. Modern still came in at the low bid. It's not where we'd like it to be, but it was a low bid, and obviously we were satisfied with the service that Modern provided to the town. But again, even though being low bid, the price was considerably higher than we've had in 5 years, 4 or 5 years. So that's why. Okay. I'm sorry?
This is going to appear in the garbage district?
Yes.
On the bill?
Yes. Anyone else? Thank you. For the record, all board members are present. approval of the minutes, September 24th, 2018. A motion, please.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Minutes carried. Approved. Bill payment of October 1st, 2018. Voucher number 201181939 to 201181970 with a total amount of $207,746.64. Have a motion to approve the bill payment, please. Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Department heads. Paul Siegman.
I don't have much. Just a couple quick things. Same thing with the brush. It's coming winding down to an end. Once we start with the leaf trucks, I don't know how often the chipper will be out. Speaking of leaves, I was reading, they're talking about it's going to be probably 2 weeks later than normal for them to start dropping because of the way the weather was. Please put them out. Don't put them in your ditches. They have to be in the yards. My guys aren't going to climb down in ditches to pick up leaves. And when it starts snowing out, hopefully it doesn't start snowing out too early, because if it starts snowing on the leaves, we can't pick the piles up. It just clogs the machines up. Hopefully we got another couple months before we got to worry about that, but I just thought I'd give everybody a little information on that. And that's basically all I have for right now.
Okay, Paul, I have a question for you. I know we had talked in brief today, and it was my first day back and was pretty busy. On that Moyer Road repair, are they digging up the road to replace pipe, or what?
Basically what I seen the state DOT doing, there's a hole, if anybody was by the intersection of Moyer and Shawnee, there was a hole that developed in the center of our road, but it's actually the DOT's crossover pipe that goes under our road. It looks right now that they're just doing a spot repair, because they only have a small square section cut out. Now whether it was there where it goes into where the pipe goes into the box, I don't know. They weren't there today. They were working on it last Thursday, so I don't know if they did the repair and they're just waiting for concrete to dry now or what.
Okay.
That's all.
The only reason I asked is because when I could see when I looked into the hole, you could see right down through the pipe.
Yes.
And I'm just hoping that the repair they do is adequate.
So do I. There's a lot of work that needs to be done along Shawnee.
Get it. Earlier we were talking about Liberty Drive. National Grid is about 8 weeks ago they were trimming the top of telephone poles out in that area, and then they left all the wooden tree tops off the poles sitting at the corner of Liberty. And I've emailed them a couple of times. I've got no response. I know you've had a phone call or two of people telling you that somebody's dumping, and I guess we need help getting National Grid off their switch to get this stuff cleaned up. And how do we do it?
I'll make a phone call tomorrow to the National Grid myself. I know I've had calls, people dump their deck there and everything. It wasn't a deck, it's the cross poles for the telephone poles. We go pick it up. If they're loaded with creosote, I can't get rid of them. So I want Niagara Mohawk to come take care of them. Shouldn't be our problem.
The other option is we could cite National Grid.
For dumping.
We could cite them for dumping for that matter if they won't come pick them up.
I know Mike's not here tonight, but if you would call and see if they're going to pick it up, because they may have placed it on the side of the road. But if not, we can send them a notice just like anybody else in town for dumping on town property.
Okay, I'll make a phone call tomorrow.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Paul.
Is that it?
That's it.
Weather Department, Rich Donner. Hi, Rich.
Good evening. It's that time of year again. Guys are out doing the maintenance on a hydrant, getting everything blown out for winter. As Paul said, we hope it's not going to be here for a while, but we're doing the best we can on that. Other than that, we're just out fixing leaks and trying to catch up on everything before the cold weather hits.
Thanks, Wes.
What do you got,
We had that
Larry?
recycling grant that you did this past year for 2018. I guess there's a new one for next year. Are you going to file that?
Yeah, we're already aware of it. We'll get the information together, and it doesn't take much to fill that one out, so we'll get it put in.
Thanks to you and your staff for doing that.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I want to comment only because Richie was talking about the weather coming. I went on a fishing trip last week, and my wife took her summer clothes out, and I said, Mary, we're heading north. Our first day there, it snowed, and so much for the summer clothes. Okay, Mike Rinaldi.
couple of things. First thing, next Monday the 8th, schools are closed, so our doors at the youth center will be open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. for day camp for the kids, ages 5 to 12. And the last thing, October 27th, Saturday, will be the night of our Halloween party, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And that's all I got.
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
Bridget?
Nothing this evening.
Oh, thank you. I was going to say something, Bridget, but you'll hit me, so thank you. Arlene Manti. Okay. Thank you, Arlene. Okay. I want to tell you, I was, I had to leave that birthday party for the 100-year celebration. I was quite impressed. That was very nice, very nice. Mm-hmm. That I did. You know, the sad part is, the girls around here said, you didn't pick them yourself. So it shows you the confidence they have me in picking flowers. I did pick them. And I actually trimmed them and put them in the vase. So to all the women at the town hall, I can do it. That's very nice. Thank you, Arlen. Appreciate it. That's great. I heard that. He upstaged me. Arlene, thank you. Tim Zuber, I understand you have no report tonight. Boy, that's great. No, that's okay, Tim. I got your memos and I read them all over and over. Thank you, Tim. Matt Brooks, motions.
Okay, first motion on the list from the Highway Department was withdrawn, at least for tonight, so we'll move to the next one from the Town Board. Whereas the State of New York has legislated that all employers within the state must adopt an anti-harassment sexual harassment policy, and whereas the Town of Wheatfield is committed to maintaining a workplace free from sexual harassment, and whereas the Town of Wheatfield intends to be in complete compliance with the anti-harassment sexual harassment law policies implemented in the State of New York, now therefore be it resolved that the Town of Wheatfield hereby adopts the anti-harassment sexual harassment policy attached hereto and made a part hereof this resolution, and be it further resolved that said anti-harassment sexual harassment policy is effective immediately within the Town of Wheatfield upon the passage of the resolution.
So moved.
A motion and a second, please.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I've got a question.
Sure.
How will we be communicating this to the employees? Will there be training or?
They'll all be copied, I understand.
The law requires all existing employees, interns, even volunteers have to get a copy of this policy, as well as the complaint form that I've prepared. And then for new employees, they will get a copy of this in their employment package. Same thing, we'll have to give this to volunteers, members of all the boards, focus groups. So we're going to make a lot of copies of it. And thereafter, the law says, starting in January 2019, there's an annual training class that must be attended by all employees, volunteers, everyone. That's for every single employer in the state of New York is supposed to do that.
Good.
Okay, next motion from the Water and Sewer Department to approve and authorize the Water Sewer Department to purchase and upgrade the Water Sewer Department's water meter reading equipment and software. Said upgrade is through Badger Meter Company at a cost of $17,300 and would be an authorized purchase from Badger Meter Company as the sole supplier for the necessary software. said purchase fund shall be split equally between the 2018 water and sewer budgets.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the Wheatfield Local Development Corporation. Whereas the town of Wheatfield has previously approved a resolution to move forward with the OCR Community Block grant funding for a project in the town of Wheatfield regarding Pelicanos Marketplace. And whereas the WLBC and its consultants have informed the town of Wheatfield that it is necessary to adopt a Section 3 participation plan as part of the application for the OCR CDBG grant for the benefit of Pelicanos Marketplace. And whereas the requirements of the Section 3 participation plan and the proposed grant for Pelicanos Marketplace will not be triggered, but it is nonetheless required that such Section 3 participation plan be adopted in order to be in compliance with the grant application. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Wheatfield approves and authorizes the town supervisor, Don McSwan, to sign and enter into the Section 3 participation plan as required for the OCR CDBG grant for the benefit of Pelicanos, pursuant to the request of the Wheatfield Local Development Corporation and its consultants, H. Sicken.
Can I have a motion, please? Motion and a second, please. Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, and then there was one late motion, supplement motion to authorize the town supervisor, Don McSwan, to enter into and execute a master recovery cost agreement between the New York Power Authority and the town of Wheatfield. Said agreement is in furtherance of the town's desire to convert the existing town lighting to LED lighting, which is more energy efficient and requires less maintenance. This approval motion is subject to town attorney review and approval of the master cost recovery agreement, which will not be entered into until town attorney review is complete and authorization given.
Just a quick comment on this one. I did talk with NYPA on this, and this doesn't bind the town. It just basically is an intention for us to kind of let them know that we're taking this serious and allows them to take the next steps when it comes to financial analysis, and also for them to take to basically contract with somebody to set up samples here in the town hall campus.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
So that is all the motions I have tonight.
Okay. Dave Godfrey, before I forget, the county legislature, what do you got, Dave?
Nothing tonight.
Nothing. Okay, Dave. Larry Hellwig. You'll decide.
As you drive towards the mall from the back side of it,
Yeah.
the upper part of it has graffiti all the way across it.
On the mall itself?
Yeah, on the right on the block and stuff. I mean, the owner of the mall wants to build a brewery and continue on with stuff. He's got to keep that place looking halfway decent. Got a lot of residents back there that have to look at that
Sure.
stuff.
And you know, Gil, I'm supposed to meet with them in the next couple of weeks. The mall owners are coming into town, and I will bring that up to them.
Quite a bit as you drive towards it. At the upper part, it's all the way across.
The other thing, and Brian, while you're here, I had asked Robin to patrol you guys hitting it? Okay. Thanks. Okay, because I understand it's been broken into several times. Okay, thank you. All right, anything else, Gil?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, so on the continued analysis on LED lights, I am meeting with National Grid later this week, and they're going to hopefully be providing a buyout cost for a current infrastructure of high-pressure sodium lights. So that's really a key piece of information before we can complete the financial analysis with NYPA to get an idea of what it's going to cost for the conversion. And also, this isn't certainly written in stone, but I wanted to kind of provide an idea in terms of timeline for what we're hoping to achieve. After we get the buyout information, we're going to get the NYPA analysis together, and I hope to have something to share with the rest of the board in November or December. If we would decide to move forward with NYPA, they're looking for not only us, but all the other towns that are participating in the aggregation to sign by December. And then design work will begin right away in January and February. And the hope is that we can start construction in the summer, if it makes sense for us. So it is an aggressive timeline, I think, but
How many other municipalities are in this group?
there's 5 that have officially signed. You know what, I don't have that. I can share that in the next meeting. But there's 3 or 4 additional that he believes may be also interested in signing. So we have definitely reached critical mass. I think there's something like over 2,000 total streetlights that would be included, which does allow us to achieve some,
We had a meeting, and I think Kurt was here at the meeting when we met with the Power Authority, had communities from all over Niagara County, and several of the communities did join in with us to give a total additional fixture count. And I think Lewiston, Wilson, Porter, and I'm not sure who the others were. So we have a much larger fixture count when it comes to the LED conversion for all municipalities to work together. Yep.
And then the other thing is I'm also meeting with Danforth, another company in the area, just to kind of give us an idea, just so we're not putting all our eggs in the NIPA basket, to see what it would cost for Wheatfield just to do the project on our own. I don't suspect they're going to come close just because they don't have the aggregation, but work to do the investigation. Sure. And that's it.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Kurt. Randy Retzlaff.
I have nothing.
Okay. And I have nothing tonight. It was nice to be away without any phone service for a week. I think everybody realizes how used you get to a cell phone. That first day I was a wreck. I didn't have a cell phone. And then the rest of the week it started to settle in. It was very enjoyable not having a phone. Just want a reminder that for the department heads, we have a department head meeting on the 15th at 10 o'clock here for all the department heads. Other than that, I have nothing. Our next meeting is October 10th at 6 o'clock.
Okay, on the 15th, didn't we have
You
a
said the
public
10th.
hearing? Of some
It
sort?
says Wednesday, October 10th. Is it the 10th or the 15th? Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
thought that's what you were talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about the department head meeting we have.
Okay, I missed that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, and the next town board meeting will be October 15th, 7 o'clock, regular time. Anyone who would like to speak on anything we've discussed tonight? Have a motion to adjourn.
Second.